Hello everybody and welcome to Moebius Empire Rising. This is a new game by Jensen. It was released last year. She wrote the Gabriel Knight series. It has been critically panned, but I'm going to give it a fair chance. Now, I've actually already done this first, about 15 or 20 minutes or so of gameplay, but, it didn't record properly, so I'm doing it again. I'm gonna skip this cutscene, it's not important, it's just a song. So, this is something that's interesting. It's set up kind of episodically, so the first chapter actually gives you a menu here. So, I'm gonna save into a new slot. Go ahead. And just a bit of a rundown of how the interface works. It's gonna show you right here, but you have look at, interact with, and combine. They're not the most readable iconography, but once I'm getting used to it, it'll be fine. Up here, you'll see I have like a PDA, a settings menu, world map. Now, I increased the font size to a pretty large size because there's been this weird encoding issue that I've had with some videos that have resulted in this weird blurriness that I don't understand why it's happening exactly, but I want you to be able to read the dialogue because I'm gonna skip through stuff once I've read it entirely.
What did the doctor say?
Because that's how I play adventure games. I don't wait for everybody to speak their full lines.
Malachi, you were in the hospital in Spain for a week. A man who evaluates antiques for a living should not have to worry about getting beaten by thugs.
The chest Senor Perez was trying to sell was a fake.
You need to take security on these jobs. Some of these sellers are dangerous people.
I'm honest, and that's precisely why my clients hire me.
I have a few things to fill you in on. Let me know when you've had a chance to settle in.
Alright. So, spacebar. I don't know what that was about. Spacebar shows everything. And I think there's nothing to really interact with here except for the suitcase.
My suitcase? I can't forget I have my passport in the pocket.
So, we have like a pretty simple verb coin.
I'll take my passport with...
Much like Curse of Monkey Island. I'm gonna go look at the desk here.
It's a letter from Mr. Barozzi, an antique dealer in Venice. He's a little quaint. He insists on sending snail mail.
So you'll notice this is in Venice, and chapter 1 is in Venice. So far, not a connection yet, but just bear it in mind.
I'd like to see what Barozzi's found. Perhaps I'll be passing through Venice sometime soon. The bleak economy seems to be all the newspapers can talk about these days.
Okay, so we got that taken care of. Now he's gonna take his pills. This is something that happens beyond my control. I'm not sure why he did it now, but he did it. It's got some sort of situation there. I'm curious about why, though.
I need to take these, or I can get into trouble.
Okay. And I assume that the interactive will either allow me to, like, open bottles that have things inside, or open envelopes, or maybe it'll be like a 3D examination.
We should catch up on what's been going on while I was away.
Let's do it.
So what's the next assignment?
You just got here. You probably haven't even been to your penthouse yet.
That wasn't the question.
Fine. There's a supposedly
So
undiscovered
he's an
ring
antiques
in Rome
dealer
for
that is
centuries,
interested
and 2
in
pieces in Egypt
antiques.
for Rutherfords.
Take
And
them
he has a
both.
photographic
Malachi,
memory.
You just got out of the hospital. You should let your body rest. At least long enough to get used to a time.
With the economy in the gutter, there are a lot of desperate people right now. Desperate enough to sell Grandma's Harrington or create a good forgery.
So,
I
there's
might
something
as well
odd
make
about
money
the way the
while I
characters
can.
speak in this
You're driving
game. Like, their
yourself
mouths
too
don't
hard.
open
Your
quite
body
wide
needs-
enough.
What my body needs is no concern of yours.
No. Thanks for reminding me. There was also a new client who called. Something about a government contract.
Government contract.
You said in your email that you've been looking into security options?
I made a list of the reputable security agencies in New York.
No, they'd only get in the way and be tiresome.
Fine. There are other options.
What other options do you have for...
I've been researching security agencies in various international cities.
I can't trust someone I've just met.
These are reputable agencies.
No other brilliant ideas about security?
I have a report on where to buy guns in various countries. It's not a very good option, but it's better than going into a bad situation unarmed. And maybe the mere presence of a gun will remind you not
So,
to shoot off
I think
your
we're
mouth.
establishing here that,
I mean, give
much
your
like Gabriel
fascinating
Knight, the main
opinion
character of
quite
this
so
game is
freely.
kind of
Maybe
a
we'll try that
pompous
next time.
jerk.
Who is this new client?
Amble Dexter, 452 Central Park West. He wouldn't say what it was about, just that he needed someone with your expertise.
If he wouldn't even say what it's about, then it's not worth my time.
Well, it is a very upscale address, but do as you please.
That's all for now.
Very well.
Alright, so here's our PDA. We can learn about people that we have. So there's Professor Reed. Let's look up Amble Dexter.
Nothing. That's extremely odd. It's an unusual name, but there's information on everyone on the internet, unless it was intentionally scrubbed.
I can't remember if I have to go in here or... Yeah. Yeah, so he found the phone number. So we're gonna now talk to Amble Dexter.
I'm going to go see Mr. Dexter.
Good. But tell him you can't travel anywhere for a few...
I'll do nothing of the sort.
Good luck.
Alright, here's the world map. And we're gonna go see our new client.
I'm here to see Amble Dexter.
Your passport, please, sir.
Yep, so now you see why it was important to get it.
Here's my passport.
Welcome, Mr. Rector. You can go through to Mr. Dexter's office.
Thank you.
Beep, 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 beep.
Ah, Mr. Rector. What a pleasure to finally meet you. I've heard about your remarkable talents.
Which I presume you'd like to rent in the near future.
Precisely. Please, come in and sit down. This is Mr. Reichart, my associate.
Mr. Rector?
Hello.
Before we discuss the job that we have in mind, I hope you won't object to a simple exercise.
Oh? I'm afraid I left my performing monkey hat at home.
Please don't take it like that. I think as a historian, you'll find it quite fascinating.
I'll think about it.
Okay. So now we can kind of look
Dexter's
around and
desk
get
is designed for easy wheelchair access.
idea
It's
of
much
the
like
kind of
any
person he
other
is.
one.
So that brings up this icon here. That's a brain. And this allows us to kind of profile a person much like Sherlock. So he's got a sharp gaze. We're gonna say for now that means highly intelligent. I'm not so sure about that, but a calm leader and highly determined. And those were the correct options.
What is this exercise you mentioned?
Take a look at this man. Tell me if he reminds you of any specific person in history.
I read objects, not people.
Humor me, please. I've heard you have a photographic memory, and that your knowledge of history is beyond compare. I'm intrigued.
I prefer to work on my phone.
So, this is something I didn't quite understand before, but I will kind of walk you through it. We're supposed to scan through this list and remove candidates who don't match many data points, and we have to narrow it down to 3 people. Now, what they mean by that is, so they're asking, what person from history does this person resemble? So he was a talented artist from a young age. Let me scroll down here. He died early at the age of 36. Now, Michelangelo died at 89, so that doesn't really match. He died at 67, Da Vinci, so he doesn't match. And Botticelli lived to be about 55. No, 65, so he doesn't match. So, already we've eliminated 3 candidates, and we have Raphael, who died at 37, so that's pretty close. Giuseppe helped manage his father's business. So Bernini and Raphael kind of match there. Giuseppe was hired by the Vatican to implement his green designs on a new building. Frank Lloyd Wright did not do that. So, now we've got 3 people here that we're supposed to look through and decide is the closest match. Now, Donatello already has a couple data, several, almost entirely, he does not match anything. And there are several points where Bernini does not, Bernini does not match, but Raphael matches pretty much everything, so we're gonna select him.
Is this a joke?
Not at all. What do you see?
His biography reads like that of Raffaello Sanzio d'Urbino, the 15th century painter better known as Raphael.
You do not disappoint, Mr. Rector. Such a pleasure to finally meet you. Truly, I'm delighted.
Wonderful. I still don't see the point of that exercise. A modern man happens to have a similar life story to a famous painter. What of it?
Indeed. Its relevancy to us needn't concern you. All we ask for is your expertise in making the historical connection.
Do you have a job for me, Mr. Dexter, or not?
I do.
Look how pushy he
The job
is.
is in Venice. A young woman of wealth and high birth was murdered there a week ago. Her name was Bianca Cardolo. I'd like you to go to Venice and investigate who she was, and do what you just did so magnificently. See if she reminds you of any historical person. That is all.
I don't investigate deaths.
We're not looking for her killer, only the facts of her life. A brief biography, if you will. And for you to document any connections you draw to any figure in history. Perhaps there will be none. That's acceptable as well. You get paid 20 to 30,000 for your work for the auction houses. I'll pay you 50. It should take you no more than a week. What say you, Mr.
And you get to go to Venice.
I might be interested. But first I want to know why you're keen on this particular woman.
I'm afraid any further information is classified at a high security level.
Not suspicious.
I'll take the job.
Excellent. I know you won't disappoint me, Mr. Rector. Speak to the guard in the lobby. He'll give you your plane tickets. And Godspeed. I very much look forward to hearing your report when you return from Venice. I'll forward the.
You notice how the guy next to him has just not said anything this whole time?
Very well. Goodbye.
He's just been looking. It was a nice touch that they had the wheelchair accessible
Pass
button
through
to open the
scanner,
door.
sir.
Beep, 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 beep. Alright, so we talk to the guard and get our tickets.
Mr. Dexter said you have plane tickets for me?
He's a
sir.
spindly, lanky man,
Have a
Rector.
good trip, sir.
Thank you. Looks like I've taken care of everything here.
Yep. Now, they won't let us go to the map here because they want to show us something, so we're going to exit the map this way. He's getting watched. Alright, so just to be nice, we're going to let Gretchen know that we're leaving.
I've taken a job for that new client, Amble Dexter.
Oh, God. Why am I not surprised? Well, I'll hold down the fort as usual.
Thank you.
Alright. So you've done that. There's also a score like an old adventure game. I'm not sure that I'm not going to shoot for 100%. I wouldn't even know how. These games often have Easter eggs that give you points, so... Alright, so...
I should call Detective Brunetta.
we have only 1 of 13 data points. And here's the Detective Brunetta. We have to wait for him to actually dial. Because I assume that you could do this on a actual screen too, and they'd show an animation for it.
Pronto, Detective Brunetta.
Buongiorno. This is Malachi Rector. I need to speak with you about the death of Bianca Cardolo.
I was told to expect your call. Meet me at 425 alla Due Colonne. That's the site of the murder.
Thank you.
Alright. So, off we go. So he's stressed out. I think we can say that for sure. I don't know what I get for doing that. Maybe just points.
Are you Detective Brunetta?
That is correct. Mr. Rector?
Yes.
I've been told to answer any questions you have about the death of Bianca Cardolo. I can't say I understand why.
Well, I'm glad to know where you stand, Detective. Let's get started, if you don't mind. It's always good to know your source.
That depends on what you want to know.
This is a high-profile case, isn't it? You've been working on it around the clock.
That's right. Never lets you go, a case like this. And what is your stake in it, Rector?
I'm not trying to find her killer. I just need information.
And you're a luckier man than I. But if you mean you'll stay out of my way, then I'm glad for it.
You've been a detective for a long time. 20 years at least.
That's right. Someone told you about me?
Your experience is on.
I will take that as a compliment.
Do you know the Cardolo family personally?
I'm not a part of that high society, even if I have the time to have a social life.
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo.
She was a popular figure in Venice. Everyone knew her. She was even named the most beautiful woman in the city several years ago. The public wants her killer found.
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo's murder.
We know she was followed while walking home from a concert. She ran. The killers caught up with her here where we're standing. They hanged her from this bridge.
Sounds familiar. In fact,
I can't read your mind.
She was walking home from a concert alone?
Yes, her husband is a very busy man.
Was she robbed?
No, her purse fell into the canal. We retrieved it. Her money and credit cards were all there.
Were there any witnesses?
No one came forward, even after Senor Cardolo put out a personal request.
Do you have any leads on the killers?
No. If you want my opinion, such as it is, they were professionals. They left no physical evidence on the bridge or on the body. Even the rope was generic.
Tell me about the Cardolo family.
Dante Cardolo, her husband, is extremely wealthy and a very important man in local politics. Well-respected man, for good reason. Her father, Venetian royalty. It would be difficult to find
He
a more
sells
distinguished
Venetian
bloodline
blinds.
anywhere in Italy. This crime has all of Venice in shock.
And yet, someone did.
Yes. If you want my opinion, her family had nothing to do with it. But that begs the question, eh? Who did?
You said you were told to answer my questions. Can I ask by whom?
You don't know?
I'm not in the habit of asking questions I know the answer to.
I was told it came from a mayor's office.
No, it wasn't Cardolo.
Interesting. Well, at least I know that much.
Those are all the questions I have, Detective.
Maybe someday I'll know what this was all about, eh?
I doubt it. Even I don't know what it's all about. But I wish you luck in finding Bianca's killer.
I'll need more than wishes. Arrivederci, Mr. Hector.
Arrivederci.
So Rector is a prick, but he's polite to talking to others. And there was a person in here that seemed pretty interested in our conversation, so we're gonna go talk to them now.
Pardon, Signora. May I have a word with you?
Yes? What can I do for you?
Now, he won't just talk to her in the doorway. He makes her walk all the way over to him by the bridge. Alright, so we're gonna look through here. Retired teacher. Probably lost jewelry if she's touching it. Low income. Okay. We're just about near the end of
Yes,
the where I
Signor.
was before
What can I do for you?
the video failed to record.
Is this your home, Signora? It's lovely.
Ah, grazie. It's been in my family for 4 generations.
I'd like to introduce myself.
Buonasera, signore. I am Caterina Falone.
I noticed that you seem nervous, Signora.
You would be nervous too if unspeakable things happened just outside your front door. I do not wish to talk about it.
Thank you for...
It was a pleasure.
Now, I did that for a reason. I'm still going to talk to her, but I wanted to go in here because I noticed this the previous time. Well, first of all, I had updated that. And now we're going to look her
I
up.
believe that's a younger photo of Signora Falone, the woman who lives near the site of Bianca's murder. She's wearing a Venetian Murano glass necklace. I don't recall...
Okay, so now I think when we finish talking to her, we'll have that new dialogue option. You know that that door has a knocker on it. You could use that.
Yes, signore.
I would like to speak with you about the murder, Signora.
No, I'm sorry. I won't speak about that. I already said as much to the police.
But I am not the police. You can talk to me.
I don't know you, signore. And it is too terrible to talk about. No.
Thank you for speaking with me, Signora.
It was a pleasure to speak with such a fine gentleman.
Except that she didn't seem all that happy about it. But okay, we're gonna go back to the world map now. Because it's time to go to the house, I think. Talk to some people here. Oh, that's right, we also have Barozzi's Antique Shop because of that letter we got. So let's go there first. Oh, there's a protester outside.
Mr. Hector, it's a pleasure to see you. Welcome back to Venice.
Thank you, Signor Barozzi.
Did you come about the figurine? Let me know when you're ready to see
It
it.
looks kind of like Stan Lee. Alright, so we've got some, this is a new location for me, so I'm gonna take a look around.
This Venetian necklace looks similar to the one Signora Falone wore in her younger days. I think this one is what...
He's a rich
I'd
guy.
like to buy this necklace.
Certainly. Shall I put it on your account?
Please.
There you are. You have a good eye, as always, Mr. Rector.
Alright, so we just did a good deed.
Signor Giuseppe Barozzi. I've known him for years. While his stock is usually lower grade, he knows when he's seen something significant, and he calls me.
Alright, let's get the dirt.
Signor Barozzi,
How can I help you, Mr.
How is the antique business in Venice these days?
How good can it be with this global recession? Italy is drowning in debt, and the protesters keep even the tourists away. In all honesty, I have never seen conditions so desperate.
Well, maybe you should get out of the
Fortunately, there's
business
always a
for
market
rich people.
luxury items. The rich get richer even in a downturn.
Yeah, no kidding.
How can you say so? The EU is about to collapse. There are terrible days ahead for everyone.
Nope.
I don't believe it's as bad as all that. The press love to fearmonger.
It's
I am
all about
afraid
economic
it is that
inequality.
bad. Unless we can find some brilliant leadership to steer the world.
Well, I hope I am standing here in a year.
So do I.
Did you know Bianca Cardolo?
Why, yes. That is, I knew who she was. She even came into the shop one time. Her murder is incomprehensible.
I'm looking for information about her.
I didn't know her personally.
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo's family.
Ah, well, you know I love Italian history. Her father, Signor Antonio Savoy, is from two of the most noble Italian families, the Savoys and the Capetians. The Savoys, as you know, were the royal family in Italy up until World War II.
Interesting.
So that's another data point, I'm pretty sure.
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo's husband.
His
Understandable.
eyes, like,
You know,
just, like
he's
they
from
open so
Capetian
wide.
family, just like Bianca's father. But they are distant cousins. He was very popular in Venice. He could have gone far in politics. But his support of the EU at any cost has the common people very angry. Only time will tell if his political career survives.
Thank you for the information. Was Bianca Cardolo wealthy?
Oh yes, both her birth family and her husband's family are extremely wealthy. There's no doubt about that.
I see.
It's none of my business, but why are you interested in Bianca Cardolo?
Her story caught my eye.
I can't blame you. It is a terrible thing.
If you learn anything new about Bianca Cardolo, please
Absolutely.
I'd like to see the figurine you mentioned in your letter.
See. Here it is. Take all the time you need.
I have a feeling we're going to be investigating this
I
item.
hope you'll find it to your liking. I know your taste is excellent.
We'll see. That's all for now.
As you wish.
Oh, he's got to take his peels. How many you got left, buddy? Alright, so... Oh, I guess we're just gonna do it this way. Early 6th century. From elephant tusks, cross-section shows fish. Well, so far, easy matches. Okay, so there are other choices. They just wanted this to be super easy. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. I thought... Okay, I misread that. I thought I was comparing to what it said on the right. Okay, so I'm just matching the expression. Okay, well then that's easy. Let's try walrus. It does look like a medieval chess piece. Looks like I got it right.
The figurine is an excellent find, Senor Baruzzi. It's a 12th century Lewis chessman piece. The British Museum and the Museum of Scotland each have part of the collection, so we might be able to get them to bid against each other. Marvelous. Can I assume our usual split?
Of course. Oh, that is good news. Should I have it sent to your store in Manhattan?
Please do. Oh, and ensure the hell out of it.
Of course. Thank you. I'm not ashamed to say I will be glad for the money.
Well, we helped them out.
Is it a lamp? I can't think of a client I dislike. Venetian fine china. It looks like a collapsible I don't have a use for a collapsible boat pole.
We may have to come back for it later. What? Okay, weird.
It's a protester. The soft light... I'm not interested.
Nah, he's rich, alright. Alright, so we're gonna go to Cardolo's home on the next episode of, Moebius Empire Rising. So grab a snack and we'll be right back.